Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So glad to see you. Welcome from wherever you may be watching this today, from different places around the world. Today, we're actually going to start a brand new series. I hope that you'll enjoy it. I've had a lot of fun putting it together. We're calling it Fun with Slang. Let's get started. Before we get started on our slang for today, I just want to talk a little bit about slang. Some of you may not even know what the term means. Basically, it is referring to those words that mean something different than they would normally if you were to translate them literally. Some words have taken on new meaning to the people that use them. And they're usually used in informal settings when you're having casual conversations with people. You wouldn't normally use slang words when you're at work or in a business meeting or in some type of formal situation, maybe at church or the synagogue or the mosque. If you're in a formal setting, you might not use these slang words. But when you're in a group of friends and you're talking very casually together, you might find, or at least hear, people using words in a way that even if you do know the meaning of the word, they seem to be using it in a different way. It has a different meaning to them. Sometimes these words aren't real words at all. They may be brand new, made-up words. Not even in the dictionary yet. And the interesting thing about slang is that new slang words are developed every year. And so it's kind of the type of thing where you have to keep up with all of the new slang that is being developed all of the time. And it might be a little difficult when you're first learning English to spend too much time on this, but it's a good idea to learn at least some of the most common slang words that are used. You may not necessarily want to start using them yourself when you're first learning English, because it's easy to get it wrong and you'll sound funny if you're using it in the wrong way. But it's a good idea to know them so that when you're talking with your friends and they use slang, you have a better idea of what they're trying to say, what they're trying to communicate to you, if you know the most common slang words. So with that little preamble, let's get started. Now, the way that we're going to do this is we're going to break it up into sections, maybe 3 or 4 sections for each lesson. And it's going to be a grouping of slang words for any given situation. So we'll set up a situation and then we'll use the various responses that people might give using slang for that situation. For example, our first situation, you've just said or done something that you wished that maybe you hadn't, or maybe you forgot to do something, maybe you were late for something, and you tell your friend, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they might respond by saying something like, "Oh, no worries. No worries." Or they might say, "No problem. No problem." They might say, "Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't give it a second thought. Don't give it a second thought. No biggie. It's no biggie. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. Forget about it." And our last one, "It ain't no thing." I even used a little bit of an accent there because this kind of comes from maybe the southern part of the U.S., maybe even Southern California. It ain't no thing. And it's incorrect grammar as well, right? It ain't. We don't usually use ain't in a formal setting. But in a casual conversation with friends, it's okay if your grammar isn't perfect. And when you're using slang, it might even be the way you're supposed to say it, using incorrect grammar. It ain't no thing. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. No worries. And when you hear your friends talking like that, you know that you don't have to feel bad about what it is that you forgot to do or you failed to do or you messed up on, because they're saying, it's no problem. All right, let's move on to another grouping of words. It's a whole new situation now. You've worked hard all day long, or maybe it's the weekend and it's time to relax. And so let's think about some slang words that talk about just relaxing. The first one is chill out. I think I'll go home and just chill out. Chill out. Or you might maybe show up at home or at a friend's place from work and you're still kind of stressed out from work, and they might start using some of these slang words to help you relax. They might say, take it easy. Take it easy. Put your feet up. Put your feet up. Mellow out. Mellow out. Veg out. Veg out. When I saw this one, I was trying to think, how did that one come to be? And it could be, how when people lose their minds, or maybe they've been in a car accident and they've had some brain damage, and people will say they're just a vegetable. In other words, they really have they've died basically, and they're no smarter than a vegetable, right? But when they use the slang, it's time to veg out. It basically means shut down all of those work thought processes that are keeping your mind all stressed up, stressed out, and just veg out. Become a vegetable for an evening and not have to worry about anything. Just relax. Kick off your shoes. Kick off your shoes. Let your hair down. Let your hair down. Make yourself at home. Make yourself at home. Let yourself unwind. Let yourself unwind. Now, when a person comes into a room and they're overexcited and maybe they're overreacting to something, you might hear one of your friends talk to them and say something like, chill out, or take a chill pill. Take a chill pill, or lighten up. Lighten up. Cool down. Cool down. Take a breath. Take a breath. Sometimes if you're overstressed, if you just take in some deep cleansing breaths, you can overcome your feeling of stress. Simmer down. Simmer down. When the teapot has come to a boil and you can see the steam coming out and it's simmering there on the stove, you know that the water's hot. And so when you tell someone who comes into the room that's all excited and overreacting to things, well, just simmer down. Simmer down. Cool your jets. Cool your jets. Give it a rest. Give it a rest. Now, I might caution you a little bit here. You might want to be careful when you're just learning English to try and use some of these expressions yourself. If you see someone coming into the room all excited and overreacting, as you're just learning English, some of these words might sound like you're being judgmental or criticizing your friend who hasn't taken the time to become emotionally stable before they come into the room. And so you don't want to come across as sounding critical or judgmental. Be sure to put some empathy or humor into your voice and into your body language when you try and use some of these, or they might misunderstand you or feel judged or criticized. So, for example, you might say, "Oh, it's okay, chill out. Or, come on, lighten up. The way you say it can make a real difference. Let's take a look at one more for this lesson. What do you say to someone who's just invited you to maybe come over and hang out at their place? There's another slang phrase, hang out. What does it mean to hang out? Well, you just spend some time with your friends, just relaxing, maybe in their living room, talking or playing games. You're not doing anything important necessarily. You're just hanging out. And so your friend asks you to come. You want to come over to my place and just hang out for the evening? Or maybe they're saying, you want to come over to our place and maybe play some games this evening? And you want to let them know that you would like to do that. But instead of just saying sure, you might want to try some of these slang responses. You could say something like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Or count me in. Count me in. I'm up for that. Sure, I'm up for that. I'm up for that. I'm game. I'm game to play games. I'm game. You might say something like, I can't wait. That'll be great. I can't wait. That will be great. Or sounds great. Sounds good. I can't wait. If you really want to express your excitement about the idea, you might say something, yeah, I'll be there with bells on. I'll be there with bells on. All right, well, that does it for this lesson. I hope that you had fun learning some new slang words. I know you might have to watch the lesson a couple times to really get them ingrained in your thinking, but that's okay. That's why we're here. That's why we're developing these lessons so that you can watch them over and over again until you get it. And we're going to be producing more lessons on slang if you like this, and I'm guessing that we'll probably do about 4 more lessons like this here on our YouTube channel. And then, of course, we'll have a lot more over on our app. You have heard about our app, right? It's actually not quite ready yet. We're expecting it'll be released in about a month or so. But we are finding that a lot of our students are saying, they find one of our lessons at YouTube. And they write us in and say, oh, I really liked your lesson. Do you have any more? YouTube, for some reason, the way they've designed it, they distract you from your goals of learning English, don't they? You watch an English lesson and then they have all sorts of other wonderful videos that take you off in a different direction. And so what we're going to do is we're developing an app for your phone, and that way you can concentrate on the English lessons and not get distracted. And also you'll be able to find all of our lessons very easily because they'll be all collected together on that one app. And wherever you are during the day, you can pull out your phone for 10 minutes and do another lesson. And so that's exciting news here at Study English with Us, that we're developing that app for you to help you learn English. But that's it for today. And if you enjoyed this lesson, be sure and give it a like, share it with your friends. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to our channel so that you can find out more about the wonderful, exciting app that we're developing for your phone. We'll see you down the road. Take care.